and thanks for joining us on BizTech on GhanaWeb TV with me, Ernestina Sewa Asante. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta appeared before Parliament on Monday to submit the mid-year budget review statement. This is in accordance with Article 179 of the 1992 Constitution and the Public Financial Management Act 921. My colleague Na Oyokote was in Parliament and she gives us the highlight of the Finance Minister's presentation. Stay tuned.
Hello there and welcome to another exciting but special edition of BizTech on GhanaWeb TV. Today we bring you highlights from Parliament on the Finance Minister's presentation on the 2022 mid-year budget review in the August House. We'll also be taking some reactions from both the majority and minority side of Parliament. I am Na Oyokote. Stay tuned.
Mr. Speaker, this statement is an abridged version of the mid-year fiscal policy review of the budget statement and economic policy of the Government of Ghana for the 2022 financial year. I respectfully request that the entire mid-year fiscal policy review of the 2022 budget be captured in the Hansard. Mr. Speaker, on 17th November 2021, I presented the government's program to build a sustainable entrepreneurial nation anchored on fiscal consolidation and job creation in the 2022 budget, the Ajenkwa budget. Our macroeconomic targets were designed to get us back to a path of debt sustainability and increased growth. Mr. Speaker, the impasse in Parliament and subsequent development after the presentation of the budget in November 2021, both global and domestic front, have created enormous challenges for our economy. The deferment of the passage of our proposed revenue measures undermined the credibility of our budget, leading to heightened investor concerns, credit rating downgrades, and closed access to the international capital markets. These happenings, Mr. Speaker, have led to severe pressures on the cedi, which caused the currency to depreciate significantly. Additionally, in February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine, a situation Mr. Speaker, additionally, in February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine, a situation that worsened the already weakened global supply chains, exacerbated by high financing conditions, the surge in food, fertilizer, financing, and building materials and fuel prices that manifested in soaring inflation domestically. These have had a debilitating toll on the costs and standard of living of our people. Mr. Speaker, food prices are rising, fuel and transport fares are up, the cost of borrowing for businesses and households has increased, the cedi has depreciated, and the economic outlook has darkened significantly. Mr. Speaker, this state of affairs is quite a painful one for me to report to you. It is hard to see our people lament about the prices of basic commodities. These are difficult times for government and indeed for the Finance Minister. Mr. Speaker, let me take this opportunity to discuss the issue of our return to the IMF. Yes, I know this government assured the nation of a Ghana beyond aid, and our plans and programs for economic transformation have been designed to achieve just that. And indeed, I did say that Ghana would not embark on an IMF program. We did not just say it, we also took measures towards the attainment of that objective, including the passage of the Fiscal Responsibility Act and instituting a number of irreversibility measures, and also launching the Ghana Cares Obatampa program for economic revitalization and transformation. Unfortunately, unprecedented global developments, Mr. Speaker, over the past 2 years, especially in these last 6 months, have really and truly disrupted our efforts. Governments across the world have had to change course to tackle the current crisis. Governments that less than a year ago were busily talking about energy transition and green and cleaner fuels have gone back to firing their coal plants. Governments that are known for low taxes are now raising taxes to tackle growing deficits. These are not ordinary times, not for Ghana, not for Africa, and certainly not for the whole world. Mr. Speaker, just as we did in 2017 and 2020, government is resolved to continue to provide the necessary leadership to turn the economy around. Let me assure you, on behalf of the President, that we will do it again within the next 2.5 years. To do this, Mr. Speaker, we'll proceed with great caution, thoughtfulness, creativity, and grit. And as the old adage says, we shall hasten slowly. Mr. Speaker, our iconic National Builders Corps program, which was initially run for 3 years and extended for an additional year, will be completed by 1st September 2022. The program, which engaged 100,000 young graduates, has prepared thousands of them for the world of work. So far, we have invested approximately 2.2 billion cedis. As they exit, the current cohort on the program are encouraged to take advantage of the Youth Start initiative and other assistance programs in our drive to build an entrepreneurial nation. Government's policy is to support dynamic young entrepreneurs, access training and funds to build their businesses and become a significant pool of job providers for their fellow young people. In spite of the underperforming revenues and strong external headwinds, we are not seeking additional funds in this mid-year review. We are determined to efficiently use the windfall from the upstream petroleum sector to make up for our revenue shortfalls and aggressively improve our revenue even as we rationalize expenditures. Mr. Speaker, with this backdrop, I now proceed to give details of development for the first half of the year 2022 and also provide updates on the outlook for this year. In the light of the significant changes in the global environment and our own unique challenges, we have revised our economic growth estimate for 2022 to 3.7%, down from 5.8% as stated in the 2022 budget. Mr. Speaker, the 2022 fiscal framework has also been revised to the fiscal performance for the first half of the year, including shortfalls in the expected yields from the new 2022 revenue measures, the implementation of the 30% discretionary expenditure cuts and other expenditure measures announced by government earlier in the year. The other expenditure measures are the moratorium on foreign travel except pre-approved critical and statutory travels, 50% cut in fuel coupon allocations for all political appointees and heads of government institutions, including SOEs, effective 1st April 2022, the moratorium on foreign travels except pre-approved critical on statutory travels, and 50% cut in fuel allocations for all political, including SOEs, etc. The structure of the economy is still largely primary, despite the numerous attempts to structurally transform it through various industrialization programs. We are heavily reliant on primary commodities extractive industry and are price takers of the market. Our capacity and productivity remains low in both the public and private sectors. These are huge inefficiencies as well as limited skills to foster our development and improve the standards of living. In this regard, any adverse global development impacts us negatively no matter how efficient we manage the economy. This is what we intend to reverse. Mr. Speaker, that is why the President's vision of a Ghana beyond aid is critical. It is to reduce our vulnerability to global shocks. Over the last few years, the implementation of our flagships, including the 1D, 1F, the Planting for Food and Jobs, the Road and Railway Development Program, and our recovery program, the Ghana Cares of Atampa, will add value to our products. To increase productivity in both the public and private sector of the economy, to drive our transformation agenda, government will implement programs such as the Youth Start, as well as the training and retraining program to enhance the skills of Ghanaians, especially the youth. Mr. Speaker, predictions on a changed global outlook since the war has manifested. According to the IMF, the outlook has darkened significantly and uncertainty is exceptionally high. The downside risks about which the IMF had previously warned have now materialized. Mr. Speaker, there is no crystal ball in predicting when these uncertainties will end. The pandemic, which has been at the root of the current worldwide torment, is far from over. Crucially, the global weekly average of COVID-19 infections has surged from 470 to 895,000 to 1.08 million between 31st May 2022 and 22nd June 2022. Even though the active infection rate in Ghana stands currently below 500, despite harsh economic sanctions and taxing diplomacy, we are witnessing a war of attrition in Ukraine with no end in sight. Monetary policy adjustments to tame surge inflation may persist over the medium term. Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Finance will work with the Bank of Ghana in the coming months to provide emergency financing in the case of shortfall within the law, given the current unpredictable and challenging environment. The Bank of Ghana is also taking measures to help reduce inflation and has introduced critical measures to help stabilize the city, which is to exercise Ghana's first right of refusal to gold produced here, and for the first time in the Fourth Republic at least, build a strong gold reserves culture to protect the city as we move forward. Mr. Speaker, I serve a president who has shown by his deeds that he is deeply committed to the welfare of the masses of our people. Ours is also a government that is not afraid to make hard choices for the good of our country. I want to appeal to Ghanaians to keep faith with the president and his team. We know things are tough now, but we have a plan and the will to drive it. Mr. Speaker, I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here to outline our programs. I'm grateful that we continue to engage and find sustainable solutions to our challenges. God indeed bless our homeland Ghana and make us great and strong. Mr. Speaker, I beg to submit.
Let me start by saying that Ajegong, things fall apart. Things fall apart in the sense that credibility matters a lot in economic management. Forecasting is everything. The 2022 budget, I recall when it was read first in November last year, got investors very jittery, and as a result, they started exiting Ghana's market. Today, the minister's media review of the 2022 budget is worse. The budget, the media review document that he just presented is nothing but empty. nothing but empty. We have a country that is in crisis economically. Everything in this country is not working. Yet the minister responsible for finance appeared before us and said nothing. He failed to address the very concerns of the ordinary Ghanaian. Today, he comes here once again only to tell us that he has missed all the targets he set in the 2022 budget. Every one of them, he could not achieve it. Everyone, he has missed them. Only for him to propose target that he's going to miss again in the year 2022 by the end of the year. For example, the Bank of Ghana reported to us that in the first half of the year 2022, June, the fiscal deficit is approximately 6%. Only for the Minister of Finance, who has already done first half of the year fiscal deficit almost 6%, to tell us that by the end of the year, the fiscal deficit will be 6% again. How possible? How possible? At the time that you have revised your revenue down by 3.7 billion Ghana cedis, you have only cut expenditure by 1.8 billion Ghana cedis. So in total, the net effect is that you are increasing your fiscal deficit by 2 billion. Yet he's telling us that the fiscal deficit is coming down. How can this be possible? Again, our minister responsible for finance informed all of us that the GDP growth for the year 2022 has been revised from 5.8% to 3.7%. I beg to say, even the 3.7%, he cannot achieve it. Fitch has just informed us that the GDP growth for the year 2022 will be 2.5%, the worst ever in the history of Ghana. Colleagues, things fall apart. Things fall apart. Unfortunately, we do not have the competent hands to take Ghana out of this mess.
That's true.
We do not have competent hands to take this country out of the mess that we've seen ourselves. Ajigong,
Yes.
things are out of hand. I'm disappointed in the statement today as a Ghanaian that I am thinking that if a country is in crisis to the extent that your debt is unsustainable, when you come and appear before the people's representative, Parliament of the Republic, first you have to speak the truth. Second, you have to speak in a way that you get public buy-in. It's a missed opportunity. The minister has missed an opportunity to tell the true state of Ghanaian economy to the people of Ghana, for all of us to accept it and get a buy-in. Unfortunately, we only heard propaganda and things that are not possible, only for him to report to us that he has missed every target and is going to even miss more.
The Minister of Finance addressed Parliament as part of his obligations to Parliament as provided for in the Constitution. The issue of Article 1798 came to the fore, and he made it clear that he was not before us to move a motion, but to make a statement. As you may be well aware, under the Appropriation Act, we provided for a ceiling. So once the minister is not going outside of the ceiling, it is only proper for him to update the House as to what he's using the appropriation for. And this is what he came to do. So in simple terms, the minister did not come to seek parliamentary approval. He already has that approval. And every expenditure he's making is within that threshold. So you realize that even in the contribution of Honorable Haruna Idrisu, he did not attack the minister on any possible unconstitutional conduct, because the minister was well fortified by the provisions of the Constitution. So again, anybody who may attempt to suggest that there was a requirement for a motion to be moved may be in error. I would proceed with these veritable words as relied on by the Minister of Finance at page 43 of this 53-page address. This is what he says per paragraph 82. We concede that times are hard and things are not what we desired. But we believe in the overcoming spirit of the Ghanaian people, a spirit that does not cower in the face of challenges. It is this spirit that inspires us as a government to provide the leadership that is required. All of us know, as a matter of fact, that the MPP government, upon assumption of office, took immediate steps to implement without delay every single social intervention program it promised while in opposition. In doing so, government did not even attempt to increase taxation. Rather, government reviewed the taxation we inherited from the NDC government, review in terms of some of them being reviewed downwards and some being repealed completely. And in fact, for emphasis, the e-levy is the first major fiscal policy in terms of taxation that government introduced. The first major. Of course, somebody may talk about the pollution levy and all that. Those are minor levies. But I'm saying that a major levy that was introduced to address some fiscal challenges was the e-levy. Again, it is of importance for all of us to remember that when the NDC was in office, Ghanaians cried on the NDC government for a reduction in electricity tariffs. This, the NDC government, it could not do. But when the MPP government under Nana Akufo-Addo assumed office, without increasing taxes, electricity tariffs were reduced between 17 to 30%. Household enjoyed rebate, corporate enjoyed rebate, bulk purchasers or bulk users also enjoy rebate. These are facts that any person who does not even like this government at all can attest to. So it's a matter of fact.
That's it for BizTech on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Na Oyokote. Over to you, Ernestina.
Thank you, Na Oyokote, for bringing us up to speed on the Finance Minister's presentation in Parliament. Up next is Biz Headlines. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has announced that government is seeking to reintroduce the collection of tolls on some selected roads to generate revenue for the payment of some debts. He stated that site works are expected to commence in September 2022 on the Accra-Tema Motorway and Extension PPP project, which is currently at the procurement stage. The minister also revealed that the draft concession agreement between GIIF and MORH is currently under review by GIIF, MORH, and the Office of the Attorney General and the Ministry of Finance, after which the collection of road tolls will begin. Meanwhile, road tolls were abolished in the 2022 budget after an announcement by the Finance Minister in November 2021. The monetary policy of the Bank of Ghana has maintained the policy rate at 19% after its 107th meeting. Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Ernest Addison, explained that the decision is due to the current inflationary trends, which are expected to decline in the coming months. He added that the central bank will, however, continue to monitor macroeconomic development and will act decisively. Government has revised the country's GDP from 5.8% to 3.7% for 2022. According to the Finance Minister, the revision of the GDP growth target and other macroeconomic variables is necessitated by the current economic hardship on the globe. Delivering the 2022 media budget review in Parliament, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta explained that, in the light of the significant changes in the global environment and our own unique challenges, we have revised our economic growth estimate for 2022 to 3.7%, down from 5.8% as stated in the 2022 budget. The Finance Minister added that, apart from the revised overall GDP growth rate, almost all other macroeconomic variables have been revised downwards. Government will require between 7 billion and 8 billion cedis to address certain difficulties among financial institutions following the banking sector cleanup exercise. This is according to the Bank of Ghana Governor, Dr. Ernest Addison, who explained that despite successful reforms in the financial sector, there still remain issues with some financial institutions. Speaking with journalists during the 107th Monetary Policy Committee press briefing in Accra, Dr. Ernest Addison said, "We had a successful financial sector reform in cleaning up all the financial sectors. We cleaned all the weak and insolvent institutions, but we found out that there are a few more institutions that are also insolvent." The Bank of Ghana Governor added that, after 5 years of the cleanup exercise to restore the sector, which cost about 21 billion cedis, some financial institutions were still facing difficulties. He said the development has since become a headache to the central bank since 2021. Consumers of petroleum products are going to heave a sigh of relief as Executive Secretary of COPEC, Nkommo Wo Ho, has predicted that fuel prices are likely to drop from Monday, 1st August. He noted that the downward review of these products will be between 3% and 6%. Nkommo Wo Ho, however, noted that the drop in petroleum products will not be really significant due to the depreciation of the local currency against major trading currencies. He, however, called on government to bring out policies that will help deregulate the pricing of petroleum products. This, he said, will cushion consumers amidst the price hikes on petroleum products in the country. Thank you very much for joining us on today's edition of BizTech on GhanaWeb TV. This program airs every Friday on the same platform. But before we go, do log on to www.ghanaweb.com for more stories. Do well to follow us on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the GhanaWeb. On YouTube, GhanaWeb TV. I am Ernestina Sewa Asante. Do have a blessed weekend.